What fucked up thing did you do as a kid? Pooped my pants when I was like 5. Didn't want to tell anyone, so I dropped it in the heater duct in my room. Your house got sold and we moved away not long after. Unrelated. Nice surprise to the new owners. My old man had a house where one room above the garage always had a weird, sticky smell in winter. One day, he had to dismantle the ducting in the garage to get at something in the ceiling. There was one point in the duct where it used around a beam. When he took that down, got a good whiff of the source of the smell. Apparently the former owner, hamster guinea pig, had escaped into the duct and got trapped in the U. When the heating came on, it was blowing the smell of decaying hamster into the bedroom above. Edit. Asked my old man about the critter. Apparently it was a guinea pig, not a hamster. I used to pee on my brother's bed in the mornings so I would get first crack at video games or TV, while he helped clean up his mess. Update: I did not pee on my brother. I used to make sure that I was peeing away from him and on top of the covers. This occurred just a couple of times, probably coinciding with some video game we rented for the weekend. I'm sure my parents were aware something was off about the whole thing, but they never let on in. Now don't recall being suspicious of me. I've told the story to my family, and we laugh about it now. My brother doesn't recall wetting the bed at that age. I am sorry for what I did. It was selfish action, but watching him playing video games wrong was very frustrating as a kid. Thank you for the shower of gold, kind strangers. Wow, this one really made it under the radar. This is some supervillain origin story shit. Yes, he became the golden showerer. I was absolutely terrible to the first man my mom dated after she and my father split. Really terrible. I once told the man, in the middle of dinner and apropos of nothing, that I hated him and hoped he died in a car wreck on the way home. Said calmly, with a straight face, that man did nothing wrong. Was always good to me. I still feel terrible about it more than 20 years later. Did you apologize to him? I did. Ran into him at a gas station years later and told him how sorry I was for being such an awful little shit to hi monsieur. How hard did you run into him? 83 miles per hour. 5 more and he could have gone to the past and run into the guy before he met his monsieur. When I was 5, I had hair down to my ass. I was tired of my mom brushing it, so I cut it all off and peed on it in a bucket. Greater than when I was 5, I had hair down to my ass. I was tired of my mom brushing it, so I cut it all off. Understandable, a lot of us would have done the S. Greater than and peed on it in a bucket. Okay then. How else are you going to assert dominance over the hair? Setting it on fire. Misread as 5-year-old with hairy ass, long enough to brush. WTF. I'd be angry too. I'm glad I'm not the only one who read it like that. I read, hair down my ass, which I just thought was interesting wording for a hairy ass. And I wondered WTF was wrong with this 5-year-old. On 1991, after seeing Mike Tyson getting arrested on the news, I asked my dad what rape was, and he told me it meant hurting a girl. So you can picture 7 to 8-year-old me running to the teacher to say stuff like, "Teacher, come, Jack, John and George are raping Molly on the playground," quote, or threatening my classmates with rape if they were annoying me, boys included, 'cause I thought this way I was also insulting them by calling them girls. Edit. The final straw for the teacher was when 2 kids on my classroom were fighting, and I teased one of them with a sarcastic tone. "Oh, poor you. You don't like getting raped?" Quote. The teacher ran towards me. Like, "What did you just say? Asterisk, asterisk." So I explained to her, still teasing him. "Well, Ms. Sarah, he's like a girl, so we rape him instead of hitting him." Quote. I remember my dad reading the Bible to us one night and I asked what a virgin was. He said it meant a girl who had never slept with a man. I thought he meant literally sleep because I was like 4. and whatever the context was implied that being a virgin was a good thing, so I felt bad for not being a virgin, because sometimes I had nightmares and slept in my parents' bed. Removed. You could be my friend Matt. I could be, but my name is Jason. Is precisely what Matt would say. Classic Matt. I helped a Jewish kid steal a Christmas tree. He complained his family never had a Christmas tree. I feel like this could be the plot of a movie. My cousin and I were like 7-ish or so and playing upstairs in a room by ourselves. My aunt left her sewing machine in there ready to go. We were fascinated by how fast the needle moved up and down when we stepped on the foot pedal. Then we had the idea to see who could get their finger out of the way before the needle started moving. He went. The save. I went. The save. He went. Blood shot out and screaming commenced. My friends and I were out riding out bikes and saw a dead squirrel in the road. Kid logic said picking that carcass up with some sticks, carrying it to a random front step and doing a ding-ding ditch was a good idea. About a week later we noticed a for sale sign in that house. To this day I'm suspicious this poor family thought they were being targeted by some sociopath in Noped the fuck out of there. Maybe a resident of that house killed the squirrel and they freaked the fuck out thinking it was some shamanic curse that caused the squirrel to come back. Threw 2 big bags of hamster bedding through my fan and acted like a news forecaster and acted like it was snowing, and parents woke up to my room being covered in over an inch of bedding. Needless to say, I didn't own the hamster anymore. This one made me laugh hardcore. Then, wonder what happened to the hamster. Gary was relocated to another family, haha. My stepmom was abusive to me, so when she'd fall asleep I'd say mean things to her hoping she'd hear it in her dreams. More stupid than fucked up. This is cute and sad. Don't worry, karma came around to her. My older brother pissed me off, so I pissed in a super soaker. Dominance. Looked at naked girls my own age because I thought that was what you were supposed to do. Sometimes I look back and think how much of my dad's life I could have fucked up by innocently doing this. Yeah, I tried to do the same thing once when I was much younger. I'm 15 now, and I was absolutely scared shitless for a solid week of how I was gonna explain this to the cops, who would inevitably show up on our doorstep. Edit. Yo, thanks for the silver. Although now I am definitely screwed if I ever want to tell someone how I got my first award. Edit 2. Holy fucking shit, LMAO. Now it's even worse. Oh well, karma over social life? We need some damn education on this since we are so curious about this shit. My older brother downloaded some underage shit when we were underaged. I wasn't really into it and preferred the normal porn stuff. He was still into it when he was arrested for it as a 35-year-old. Didn't even think about it until he was in jail. Edit. Elf Train is a weird award for this particular comment. But, thanks. Damn, that took a turn. But luckily I never got it. I was on an iPod or other Apple device and looked it up and had a big FBI warning that popped up. I hard booted my phone off and immediately shit bricks. I made my brother and his friends a jug of Kool-Aid with water from the toilet. One time I peed in my cousin's ear from the top bunk. The sniper. Sniping's a good job, mate. When I was in 2nd grade I said my teacher was stabbing kids with pencils. The others were brought in one at a time and questioned. This did not happen, and I remember the teacher fondly and have no idea why I did it. I guess for the same reason most kids randomly do shit, to see what happens next. I had a notebook that I proceeded to fill with drawings. Each page was a scene like a comic book. It told the pictorial story of a woman getting pregnant and giving birth with graphic detail. According to my 7-year-old understanding of how birth worked. She pooped the baby, didn't she? Isn't that how it works, right? Well, duh. Girls have 2 buttholes. I used to have a couple bullies in the 1st grade. One day they decided it would be a good idea to strap me to a bench and strip me. So you know what I did? I shit my pants right then and there. They never bothered me again. Dominance, hell yeah. I took a dump in a plastic bag and hid it in my closet for reasons. Also used to stick my wang out between the curtains of my bedroom window after bedtime when I first started getting boners because the risk of being seen was thrilling. I lived on a busy street. Guess I was a born exhibitionist. What happened to the bag? My parents had to have found it. I went to check on my pet turd one day and it was no longer there. We never spoke of it. They've both passed, so I will never know who found it or what happened to it. Life's mysteries. It ran away. It's on a farm upstate. I tried to poison my mom's boyfriend. I was probably around 11. I had one of those science kits from the Scholastic Book Fair. I took the citric acid and dumped the whole container into his drink. He sipped it and just said, "This tastes like shit," and dumped it out, lol. I find this even funnier because citric acid is harmless. I think I've actually seen it recently at Walmart, for cooking purposes. Yeah, it's like putting lemon juice in someone's drink. I don't know if it would be considered fucked up, but my brother and I made homemade darts drum push pins. The pins used to hold dress shirts at stores, and would throw them at each other. They would stick in our skin and wiggle, and we would laugh our asses off. Holy shit, I remember doing something similar. I remember it'd get those thumbtacks. Put each one in that middle part of your fingers and go around 5-starring all my friends. My brothers and I figured out that if you pulled the suction cup off of Nerf darts, you could put a push pin, the colored ones for a corkboard, in it and would fire normally. And of course we shot the crap out of each other. When I was around 7, I shit in a cup and gave it to my brother, who was in high school, to eat it, and told him it was chocolate popcorn. Long story short, he did not eat it. Did something similar. I shit and pissed in a bottle of iced tea to make it look like iced tea before I gave it to my sister. She threw it out immediately. I also used to wipe shit on the walls when my parents got divorced. Then penciled myself black one day in 8th grade before they suspended me. I was a rebel child who hated everything. My friend and I ripped and stole pages out of a neighbor's Cosmo that had pictures of boobs. I think it might have been for breast self-exams. We were 10-year-old girls at the time and got totally busted by my parents. That same friend and I got into a different neighbor's trash bags after Thanksgiving and decided to sample some of their leftovers. What the actual fuck? Kids are so strange. Hey, we didn't eat fucking garbage, so don't call us weird. When I was in 1st grade, a girl wouldn't let me in her club. So the next morning our teacher took away her sunglasses because she was wearing them during class. During recess, I snuck into the classroom and placed the sunglasses in the girl's desk. Then I told the teacher when we got back that I saw her take her sunglasses back during recess. My teacher believed me. The girl denied it. The teacher pushed down her desk and the sunglasses were there. She got in trouble for not only stealing but for lying about it. No one ever found out it was me all along. And that is just one story of why I am going to hell. There was a kid named Jeff that was a real asshole in 5th grade, and I went to the bathroom and wrote, "Fuck, Jeff," on the bathroom door, and a grown-up actually fell for it or didn't give a shit because Jeff was a dick. Either way, he went down for it. My parents used to my peel apples because kids can have trouble swallowing and chewing the skin. I was upset I wasn't allowed it, and when they weren't looking I took the skin out of the garbage and ate it. You showed them. I kind of relate to the Queen song. I had a nanny with an enormous ass and I snuggled up to it regularly, and she apparently saw nothing wrong with it. Who knows, maybe it was her idea. I was too young to really pay attention. Anyway, I like butts as an adult, go figure. It's pretty common for kids to snuggle up to, hide behind their mom's butts at some point in their toddlerhood. It is not as common with unrelated women. Was this woman a mother figure to you? Was your mom not around much? Do you think you were neglected? Don't worry about answering if it's too weird. The easiest explanation is probably that she had multiple kids, was used to that, spent enough time with me to see me as her kid, and so thought nothing of it. And yes, my mom was never around, so I probably viewed this woman as a stand-in. And so, perhaps we have solved the great butt mystery. Thank you for watching.